Rock the Ripple. Rock the Ripple. The Rock the Ripple podcast with Narita McInnes.
Let's do this.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rock the Ripple podcast. I'm your host, Narita McInnes. It is so awesome to be here with you as always. And today is another very exciting and fun day because I am joined by another very special guest. She is a facilitator of spiritual hypnosis, past life regression, ET contact regression, quantum healing hypnosis, and beyond quantum healing. She is also the host of the Conversations with Consciousness podcast at the Biba Frequency on YouTube. And as an explorer of all things consciousness and our multidimensional selves, she is one incredibly wise, tapped in and grounded soul. There is, of course, so much more to this awesome woman all the way from Dublin. She is the one and only Biba Logan. Biba, welcome to the show.
Congratulations for doing that.
Thank you, especially because we were pissing ourselves laughing right before we started.
You do that really well. I don't even go there. I don't do that. I just do you ever remember years ago Blind Date? Did you have Blind Date on TV when you were growing up?
Yeah, I feel like it might have been called Perfect Match over here back in the day. So with I had the sliding door thing.
This is like that. We've got the two different slides and you're reading out my profile and I'm thinking, what guy is going to fancy me?
Did yours have the Dexter robot as well? Like, did you have this robot thing on yours that did the like calculation? No, okay.
Maybe yes, not. That's right. That's right.
Did?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But it is, I remember they'd read out the profiles and people were so innocent really, you know, and she likes to go walking and swimming. And it's like when you read out your profiles on your podcast, that's what I think. And it's like a blind date. It's very, very funny.
Yeah, and the fact that I remember, well, I've got a bit written down, obviously, so that I can say these things. But I mean, I'm just bloody excited though to be chatting with you, because really we've connected. You're all about frequency, which I'm all about as well too. And there is so much to you. So obviously, I gave the blind date intro, but maybe you can do the Biba Logan intro and tell people who are you and what are you all about and just all that sort of stuff. I'll let you take it away now. Over to you.
Over to me. Well, take it away. Well,
take it away.
I'm almost 50, guys, so I know I'm on the brink of not really, you know, I'm on the cusp of it's a hit or miss.
Let's just pause there for a second. Anyone watching this right now, not listening, but watching, like, how is this woman nearly 50? Honestly, she looks about 30. You're so impressive, woman. Anyway, I'll stop there. I'll let you keep talking now. Like I said, over to you.
Over to me. Yeah, we're going to play tennis. This is going to be a ping pong game. This
really is.
of no thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the same. Because there is no thing. There is no number. Like I'm not 50. The body, the avatar is 50, right? I love age. I love the idea of when I was young, I just wanted to grow up because everyone was full of shit. Everyone. And I knew it. And I was empathic and I just could feel things and know things. And I thought, nobody has a clue about anything. They're all pretending. In fact, is everybody just pretending? Is she pretending to be my teacher? Is she pretending to be my mom? Are these people acting? I didn't know how to articulate it like I do now, right? But I just thought, this is not real. This is, so I thought, I want to grow up so I can really just figure it out and have my own autonomy so I don't have to go, can I go to the bathroom or can I have money? Like, I just want to have those things sorted for myself and get on with living in this world that's so strange. I mean, you know, so being 50 in this world is hilarious because number one, what is this world and what is 50, right? So you can't take any of it seriously. And the Biba Logan is a wonderful person. She's a wonderful person and she's done a lot of work on herself. And but I'm not that, right? I'm not her. I'm not. I was never born and I'll never die. And like, let's just be honest about that. It's not esoteric anymore. It's the truth. And this body that I have it's just an avatar, like in the movie, you know, they get into the blue body and they have a different experience. And she's been through a lot, and overcome a lot. And it is my role to love that which I am, to love that, and to really love my body, because my body, I've only got one. I have a wardrobe's full of clothes that I don't wear, but I've one body that I have every day. And my body has its own consciousness, and it's very in tune with me, and it's waiting for my instruction. So every thought is an instruction. So I have to be very vigilant of my thoughts, because if I say to my whatever, I don't like that, if I reject a part of my body, it will shut down and it will cause problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so that's where illness comes in. So especially as women, you know, you got to love your body. And it's not like I look in the mirror and go, oh, she's gorgeous. You know what I mean? I never even did that when I was in my 20s. I always thought there was something wrong. There's just not quite good enough, you know? Even though you're like fucking gorgeous, you're just not quite good enough, right?
Yeah.
But now it's not like that. Now I look at myself from the inside out. I go in and I look at myself and I go, whoa, man, you know, I have nothing but love and appreciation for my soul, number one, for the evolution of it. And also for Biba, the part of me that's in this fractal of reality in a body. And it's about love. And it really is about loving that. And when I have hard days, like I had a shitstorm for 20 years of depression, you know, 20 years of not even a reprieve of like 20 years of, I just don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. It started really young. And it's not like I was depressed. I just didn't want to be here. I didn't get this place. I just didn't get it. And I was empathic, and I didn't get that either. I thought it was all my feelings. And I remember once a therapist says to me, how do you feel? And I said, well, I feel like the sadness of the world just rolls through me. But I didn't know really what I was saying, but I was trying to explain to her that I feel everything. She goes, well, that's not possible. You've only got your own sadness. And how wrong was she? You know, no. And then I learned to close my eyes and become still. And in the stillness, I activated my inner eye, and it took years. And when I activated my inner eye, I got to see other realms. And then I got to see who I was in those spaces and what I was and who am I, as in, like, if something shows up in my inner eye, like if you see beings or you go to locations, like, how do I respond to that? Am I in awe of that? Or am I incurious, right? Or am I equal to that? So you can go in for the first few years, you're like, whoa, you know, like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. And then after a few years, it's like, well, what am I doing here? Like, what actually is this place? Or who are these beings? It's like, well, who are you? Do I know you? And then you kind of get very much comfortable in your own skin, so to speak, even though you don't have a skin in you get comfortable in yourself. And so really, you know what's beautiful? And this is so good. It's so good. This love's been talking to me, and I'm in a group of 40 people, and they're all doing lots of different things in the world, and beautiful things, from sound healing to all kinds of things, right? And it's always about the spiritual hamster wheel, boom, another thing and another course and another thing and a podcast and all of this stuff, this kind of little generator, right, that just goes on. And it's the perpetual needing something outside of myself. I need another this or another that, or more love or more qualifications or more clients or more advertising or more branding. There's always a more something, right? Always. But then actually there has to come a point where that just ceases. It just ceases. And then love shows up. And actually, it's your capacity to love is what matters. So I can do hypnosis with people, spiritual hypnosis. That's not about giving up smoking. You know, you'll give up smoking, obviously, but it's not about that. It's about seeing your soul and embodying that. And when you embody that and that love hits you, it hits you in all those places that are dark and have been hit with abuse and neglect and all of that stuff. And that just hasn't been recognized for the beauty of what it is. That's just it. We haven't been seen. We've been looking through the lens of a patriarchal society where, you know, you got to be young and sexy. If you're a man, you got to be intelligent and smart and emotionally stable. You don't get emotional. All those lenses that we're looking through, when all of that just drops and we allow love, the soul, the magnificence of the soul, the vibration of that to emanate from us. I could be dog walking or minding kids or quantum healing or podcast. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It's my ability to emit love into what I'm doing, which will get the job done. And the job done is me having a good life and enjoying myself, and you having a good life and enjoying yourself. That's it. What else are we doing here? Just to enjoy yourself. Enjoy life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And isn't it interesting, the process that you had to go through to get to that point? Like 20 years, that's a long time to be feeling the way you were feeling. But also, I feel like you would have so much wisdom and so much groundedness when working with your clients and understanding where they're at because of what you've been through. Do you feel that?
Jesus, I've heard some stories, man. You know, you listen to some things and you're like, when they talk, you know, the ones that have been through a lot of trauma, everybody's been through trauma, but the ones that have been, you've had them on your show, I've listened to them, and I'm just like, I can hardly be in the energy of that because it's so, how those people, what they've experienced is so, whoa, you know, like max low.
Yeah.
That's another version of trauma.
Yes, it is.
That's another version. That's one that she must be very special.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
And your capacity to listen to her was extraordinary as well. Like you listened to her, just the love that just came from you as you were listening to her. You were just able to hold that story and love without any words. And that's what this is about. I'm just me. And me, by the way, is a multidimensional being of light and love and whatever else I throw into the mix, into the cosmic mix today. Then I just get to, I know love. It's not even, it's more than love. It's wisdom and knowledge and understanding. And so when I'm with somebody, yes, I have my own experiences, but I also have experienced beauty, the beauty of the soul. And that's the most important part, because you don't want to trauma bond with anybody, like trauma bonding. Like I'm having a, yes, so am I, and the weather's crap and did it. And then you just go on that roll. That's kind of, it's actually, hold on. I can see, I just see who they are, like what they are. I just see that. And when I do, they get to see it too. We are just reflections of one another here. So when I logged on with you, we just laughed. There's something in you that's reflecting that beautiful spontaneous joy. And so we just reflect that to one another. And so when I'm with a client or with a friend or with an animal or with my mom or with my daughter, I'm just reflecting the you know, that. And then in that, everything just gets to be. You don't have to be self-conscious or self-aware, or it doesn't matter what your traumas are. Let's just put them on the table and see what's holding you back. Let's just see what's holding you back, so you can wake up and feel good. Wake up. Feel good. And that's what I want. And that's what I aim for with people I'm with, that you wake up and feel good, because it's not about having 1.2 million views on a podcast or 1.2 million pounds in your bank. All those things are fun. They're just fun, but they don't mean that you'll wake up feeling good, you know? And so with me, well, there is no me, right? Like there is this, what you see, And last night I went to bed and I thought I must be a walk-in, right? But a cat walk-in in a human body. I think I'm a cat walk-in because I really do, because it's just there's cats everywhere. Wherever I go, and they talk to me and I talk to them and I just get them and they get me, and there's this love. Cats have taught me telepathy. They've taught me how to love. They taught me how to heal. Cats are magnificent creatures. They have, and all animals are, but for me it's cats. And I think I'm a walk-in, but I'm a cat.
Yeah.
Not
Feline being, would you call it that?
not even not an ascended master walk-in or a galactic. I just mean a cat walk-in. You can call it whatever.
You're a cat. From now on, you're Biba the cat. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
And thank you for holding the space. For everyone at home, I've got a bit of a cough. So if you're listening, you won't hear it. But if you're watching, you might see me coughing. So you've been doing that really well. Hey?
I'll just keep babbling on.
I love it. Biba the cat. So you've got when did this walk-in occur? And because there's a thing with cats too, because some cats love each other, and they'll hang out, and then others will mark their territory. But for you, they're just all around, yeah?
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Do you know what's really interesting about the whole walk-in thing? I woke up, and I didn't know. I woke up and I knew what I was. I knew myself, but I didn't know what I was meant to be in this world. I just was in my room and I was like, no, I know this room. This is the room that I have. And I know, so I had to remember I was a woman. I lived in Ireland. I have a daughter. Does that happen to you when you wake up, when you come back and you're like, it's almost like a delay of information.
I have had that happen, yes.
Yeah, it's like the stage. It's like you come back into the play and you forget what character you're meant to be playing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a mom and I have a business. Okay, I get it. It's fine. Let's go.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Does that happen to you a lot though?
Every day.
Every day. Well, it doesn't happen to me every day. No.
Mostly every day. So it might go on dry spells where you just wake up and you're like, you're just aware that you're aware, But then what happened was it got pushed out. That it got pushed out even further. Where I went I couldn't remember. One morning I couldn't remember. It wasn't coming back to me, and we spend our whole lives trying to get into that space of knowing that we're not a body and we're not a mind. But the minute I wasn't a body and I wasn't a mind, I was trying to get back into being a body and a mind to fit into this reality. I thought, this is all so upside down.
Yeah.
And I went into the bathroom and my daughter was brushing her teeth. Now, this was really strange. I looked in the mirror and I didn't know who I was.
Wow.
I was like, who's that? I mean, she looks good and all right. She's kind of cool, but like, that's not me. And my daughter looked at me and she says, what do you mean? I said, that's not me. This is not me. It took about an hour for me. And every morning that would happen. That was fun. That was like, it wasn't like, am I getting Alzheimer's now? This is exactly how this reality works. Nothing is what it seems. I was listening to a podcast a few months ago, right? And I was listening to this podcast, and in the podcast, he had a book, and he was like, his guest is coming on, and he had the book and everything, and he was like, this book, and it's about ETs and contact and all this stuff. And he was talking about his wife died and all these things, the host, and then the guest came on, and he was from a part of England, and it's got a heavy English accent. It's hard to listen to, and I listened to it. So one night I was driving home and it was an hour-long drive. So I said it just popped up and I said, I'll put it on again because I didn't have time to scroll. I was on driving. So I just listened to it and I thought, I know I heard this a few months ago, right? Word for word, I knew everything he was saying. Yeah, he's going to talk about the book, but I should have ordered that book. I must remember I didn't order the book. So I get home, right? And I'm thinking, I just want to see when he released that interview. And it was like an hour ago. So I contacted Steve Neal, who's the podcaster. As I said, Steve, is that a repeat that you just posted? Because he's never done that. He goes, no, that was a live conversation an hour ago.
Wow.
And I began to feel weird at that point. That was like, hold on. He goes, no, but that's a live conversation. And I thought, that's not even edited. That's live. So how can I have seen that? That's like going to see Dune 2, but they haven't written it yet. But I know the soundtrack, I know the actors. So when this stuff begins to happen, no, when you become aware of what's happening, because I believe it's always happening. So when you become aware that time, space, you, names, bodies is not solid like a rock in your garden, like it's transient. We're constantly moving in and out of different realities. You begin to care less about your problems, you know, because there's something else going on. And then the other morning I was looking at my window and a bird flew by my window, and then it just didn't continue flying. It just disappeared. It's like the wallpaper ended. And I thought, like, what the fuck is this place? What's going on? So I contacted a friend of mine who's an actual walk-in. He's a walk-in soul. He's never been here before, first time here. There's 5 of them on the planet. And I said, what is this? And he said, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Don't question it. Don't consider it strange. Don't investigate it. Be very open to it and consider it normal. And the more normal you allow it to be, the more you will witness it and expand with it. Don't chase this. Don't even question it, really. Just enjoy it. And I thought, what great advice is that? So when the bird flew by and disappeared, I went, oh, I wonder where he went.
Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. It reminds me of like when I'm scrolling through Instagram and I've seen people's videos of like planes just in the air, like, or a bird has just stopped like in a spot, or a person. Like there's a lot of this sort of phenomena, and there's stuff going, and I know that, you can AI things and stuff as well, but I don't know, it just, where you can feel if something is real or not,
Listen, right, here's the thing. If I imagine, and then I had a client a few days later and she's in hypnosis, and I know what she's going to say because I've had the session with her before. It's already done. Like Peter Maxwell says in the interview, it's already done.
Yeah.
It is. And he is right. And how that helps me, because how does it help me? How it helps me is everything's already done. So what are you worrying about?
Yeah.
Stop worrying, because we've already done this life. We're just here to witness it. We're just on episode 159 on season 2000, and this just keeps going, this soul thing. So you just got to press play in your life and watch how your soul unfolds your story. So instead of me needing to engage with it so much and like baking a cake and just let it, just allow the soul to reveal to you what's really going on here. Because when we stop putting so much effort and control into things and just trusting and allowing with everything, this stuff just happens, and you realize, actually, I'm just here to witness this life and bring something different to it and enjoy it. I don't need to worry it and control it, and you've never been alone. You're not lonely. You've never been alone. For people who feel lonely, a lot of people are lonely, even in marriages that they can't talk to their partners about. But we are totally surrounded. Everything's watching you. Everything is conscious. And we're in everything. So life is just stunning to me. It's stunning.
It is stunning. And when you can have that outlook, how magical does everything just become?
Totally. Like the way my cat looks at me, and the way my daughter comes over to me, and the way the light hits the skin, and the way the person's walking to school with the kid, and the way the bird falls on the tree to eat the berries, and the way that my friend is going through some serious shadow work and they're in a lot of pain. That makes me very happy, because I know that they're transitioning into more of what they are. And so the more pain you're in, actually, take your seatbelt off and be ready to fly, because when you're in extreme pain, it's the pain of shifting, you're glitching out of a frequency into actually more of what you are. That pain. You're birthing into something not new. You're birthing into what always was. what always has been.
I love that. It's so true. It is so true. Every time we're just coming back to more of who we are. Hey, you like my manly voice, don't you? It's getting manlier.
Very, very, very much. But it's true, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? You know, like
Yeah.
you do these podcasts and you have a very large capacity to love. Like your ability to love, like you just do what you do because you love doing it, right?
Yeah.
And you are very in your interviews, like I watch a lot of podcasts, we all do. That seems to be the new yoga, you know what I mean? They're everywhere. It's great because it's nice conversations, but you listen, you really, really listen. Yeah, and you do. And that's important because what you're doing is you're allowing love into a space for somebody to share something that they need to share. And sometimes people don't often talk much, you know, and that gives them an opportunity. And then there's some people who are used to talking and they talk a lot and they're everywhere, and that's fine too. But you have the ability to just love what you do and you just let them show up in what you do. Yeah, and that's really we need more of that in this world, you know.
Thanks.
I
Thank you
don't
for saying that.
Yeah, you know, you've put down the megaphone. I don't even know if you ever had one. It's just the me megaphone. But what about me? And I'm great, and I do this and I do that, and that's all fine, right? But there has to come a point where you just go, I'm none of those things. You were reading out that thing about me, it's hilarious.
I was thinking you were thinking that when I was reading it as well.
You would be. You're just like going, okay, this is the thing that has to be done. So just give me a minute. And you're reading it out, and there's so many words in that, like so many big words. And I'm thinking, is that what I'm presenting to the world? Like this, like a fucking cosmic explosion of words. It's like, whoa. It's actually a bit like, but I suppose it is. But yeah, I'm none of those things because love, light, we're in a universe, and this universe is a universe of light. We come into this universe. We decided to come into this universe for eons of time to have all the experience. So you could be a planet, you could be a galaxy, you could be a constellation, you could be a human, you could be an ET, you could be a craft, you could be anything you want to be. And we go through the spectrum of light through this universe. So there's the dark and there's the light. And when you master light is when you leave this universe and go back to your actual original energetic expression, which is beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond consciousness, beyond a soul. Like when we come into this universe, we need a soul. So you're not a soul. This universe, you need a container because you can't be contained, right? So you come into the field of consciousness in this realm, then you have to have your consciousness comes in. So you come in through consciousness, then you come in through a soul, and through that soul, you get to pick what experiences you want to have. So right now, we picked a human experience, a particular human experience at a particular time on the earth, right? That was a good choice, wasn't it? We did something right.
We did well.
You're like, I think everyone who's on the earth is just a warrior for starters.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
Yeah, you're just a warrior. Like if you can ride this out and triumph and just be triumphant, as in like it's not about being a doctor or a nurse or a great mom. As you know, it's about you knowing what love is and you being acceptable to yourself and knowing your soul. And how do I know my soul? Well, you close your eyes and you go in and you activate your inner eye. Your inner eye is your soul. You begin to feel it and see it, and then you activate listening. How to listen. You got to shut up, really shut up, just stop talking, stop manifesting, just for periods of time. Stop manifesting and praying and asking and blessing, all of that stuff. Just wipe it all away. Be quiet and tune in, and you activate your inner ear, your soul's ability to communicate with you, and then you channel your soul. So, you know, you channel, and that really means you embody what you actually are in this reality. And when you do that, shit starts to happen that hasn't happened before. Your world changes. People are very receptive to you. They want to be around you. They want your advice. You have opportunities to work with people in ways that were never possible before. And it's not like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. It's not, you can't, it's not, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be you. You just have to, your signal, your broadcasting, your signal, which is your soul's evolution and the entire spectrum of what it's been through. You know what I mean? Like, so some people say, well, I was Cleopatra in a last life. Well, go again. You've been all of it. Like, don't just leave it at Cleopatra, or I was a maid, or I was raped in a past life. Okay, so we have to deal with those things if they're hanging over you. But you're not that. You're prior to astrology. So if it's a full moon, I am prior to on the moon. I'm prior to astrological weather events. I'm prior to everything in this world, in this universe. I am prior to that. So nothing can influence me if I don't want it to. So people go, oh, you know, it's Mercury retrograde coming up. Okay. Instead of going, oh, dodging bullets, dodging Mercury retrograde, but actually just allowing that to be what it is, knowing that you're prior to it. It's the awareness that you're prior to that. And then when you leave this universe, you are your own universe. You go and create your own universe. Other creator beings will be having their experience through you, through your being, because this universe is a being. There's a creator being, and Ireland is a being. The sun is a being. Earth is a being. So how could you ever be alone? No. Everything is a being, and you got to learn how to communicate with the being of the earth, because we're on the earth. The earth is what we're here because of the earth. So the body, through the air, I'm breathing in that being that I know the earth really well. The earth is a very good friend of mine, as in, like, I just have nothing. There's love there. There's just a transmission of love, right? People who love nature. Why do you love nature? What is it you love about nature? What is it you love about people or cats or birds or the sound of the wind in the leaves? It's nature. It's the earth. It's the being communicating with you. That's it. And when you learn to communicate, and when you learn you're already communicating, but when you are consciously saying to the earth, I just love you. I just love you. I just love what you are. I love what you're doing. I'm not here to do anything, just love you. The earth creates frequencies that assist you in your life to help you have a better experience. Like your body. Like if I hate my bum, for example, a lot of women hate their bums and hate their thighs, and men hate whatever. Like if I love that which I am, it will only mold into what I want it to be. No civil war on the inside, you know what I mean? The civil war, it's over. There's no
It's the resistance. And I have to say, when you were talking then, I was just like feeling so much love from you. Just absolutely. I could feel just like Mother Earth just going, oh, thank you. Thanks very much. Love you too. Like that's just, it's special, isn't it? And just being aware and conscious, like you said, of everything around you, and that we are expressing our life on a living being with a living being. We are a living being. Like everything is connected, obviously, but yeah, so special, so special.
So special. And it's so simple, right? So people are like, when you have an extreme childhood or an extreme past, or there was a lot of adrenaline or cortisol, you're looking for hits the whole time. And the simplicity, it can be missed because you're looking for hits.
Yeah.
Whether it's adrenaline or joy or love or sex or drugs, whatever it is, or even spirituality, like the spiritual community is far out, like with what's going on. There's so many things to do to get out of your mind, right? To get out of it. And it's great. Psilocybin's amazing. All those things are brilliant. However, how about every day just being in? Stay in and go in and in and in. And that which is on the inside then has an opportunity to come out. That's why you're here. You are here to deliver something through you. And when we go for the ayahuascas and the psilocybins and all of it, try it all, but stop. There has to be a point where you grow up. We have to grow up and go, hold on a second here. Like, I don't need to keep feeding off her like a baby, like the little baby kids I have. They never leave the mother alone. And I just thought it never changes. When we just cease needing, that's when our power can rise up, and it rises and rises and rising to the point where you're just happy all the time. You're just like, I just feel good. It's almost you feel guilty because you feel so good. You know what I mean? Like, I could be making a cup of tea, my house is upside down, but I'm just so fucking happy. I'm just like, there could be a shitstorm outside with whatever, and I'm just like, I feel full. I feel fulfilled, and it takes work to get there. Let's be honest, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes work to get there. And I think that's important to say that too, because it's not like like you said at the start, you went through some tough shit, but it's not a 5-minute job. It's a process to get to that. And I mean, for you, how did you get to, and I mean, I know that's a big question, but how did you find it? Yeah, what were the steps or the experience or the things that came in that helped you to get to that point where you're just like, who gives a flying fuck what's happening outside? There is a shitstorm, but I feel great. And that is a beautiful place to be. And the more that we can all do it, awesome. But how
I really like, yeah, your eye makeup's fabulous, by the way. You always have lovely eye makeup.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have a matching lilac eye makeup with your jumper?
Maybe. Well, no, it's sort of. Maybe it's just picking up on it today.
Yeah, and you have all black all the way around. I really like that.
Yeah.
It's like your eyes are like nebulous when you do that.
Yeah, it's a whole makeup trick. It's just a thing. Yeah.
The trickery of makeup.
The trickery. It's not really even me. It's someone else. Dun,
Yeah,
dun,
but you
dun.
do great. I love it. I love how you get to. I love tattoos and makeup and clothes. Like, it's like this is a cabaret. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, even your tattoos as well. They're awesome. And you got them everywhere. Are they all
Everywhere.
full body? Or
Oh,
just
well, I was a Christian for a while, so yeah, I have a lot of birds. No, full body. There's a sheriff. Just so you know who's in charge. I'm the sheriff.
Your arm's in charge.
I got one here called "Welcome to the Circus." I got that before COVID, actually.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I must have had a premonition that there was a show coming to town.
Yeah.
So what was
the question? Well, the question was, I was thinking, have you watched the Divergent series? No, the movies, the trilogy? No, okay, it doesn't matter. She gets a tattoo. The one on your neck reminds me of that. Anyway, no, so we were talking about well, obviously that, yeah, it's not like a 5-minute job just to get to this point of being able to feel like really, I guess it's almost a groundedness and just an okayness and happiness with just everything in yourself. But it hasn't taken 5 minutes to get to that point, has it?
No, it's taken eons of time. So there's the lifetimes prior to this one, right? Let's get off this reality that we're here for the last 50 years. I've worked hard to get to where I am. No, it's my soul's evolution. And so it's not about years, it's about eons of time. And we have choices whether we're going to catch that wave in this time or not. And for me, it wasn't a choice. I had to know the truth. Like, I had to. I just had to, because I just knew there was more. To me, it was evident. And when we begin to awaken, right? Let's use the word awaken. When we begin to remember and we begin to awaken, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, the earth is a being, and my cat has feelings, and my mother hit me because she was worried about me. So she loved me that much that she was worried about me, that she ended up hitting me. It wasn't an edit. All these things that people go through. And when you begin to see it differently, and you wake up and you're beginning to wake up to everything's not what it seems in the news as well. And then, so what happens is you have a lot of information, and we're living in a world of information. There's so much information. We're all addicted to it. It's an information world at the moment. And all this information can become too much and overwhelming. So what happens is you have to embody the truth of the information. So if I'm awakening to, I'm not a body, right? That's a big deal for some people. You have to remember that, right? You have to go back to remember. I'm not a body, and I'm not a mind. I'm not even a soul. And so I can know that, or I can embody that. So you can learn a lot of things and do a lot of courses and have a lot of experiences, but there then comes a point where you have to, that's your awakening. That's phase one. Phase one is the awakening. Phase two is working through the darkness, working through your judgments, working through your hatred, working through your anger, your resentments, working through all that stuff. You got to work through all of that stuff, release the programs, the traumas. What are those things in me? Find those out. And then when you release all that and you're cleaning up your energetic field, so it's not so much about raising your frequency, it's about removing everything that stands against what you already are, which is the highest expression of divinity, right? So you've got to remove the hatred and the resentments you have towards your ex or your mum or your dad, or I'm not a good parent, I was a bad parent. That's a big one for people. Or my parents were good. Well, that's their hooks, and those hooks will not allow your soul to rise up to the truth of what it is. You have to get those hooks out. You have to get those hooks out. That's why I do hypnosis, because I'm not dealing with the conscious mind. I'm going into the subconscious mind, and in there, it's a projector room, right? So in your mind is, if you look at it like the projector room, you need to go into the projector room of your mind and take out the reels that aren't serving you. You have to do that if you're serious about this work. And when you go to the projector room of your mind and you find the loops, the things that are on a loop, you take them out, and then you take the charge out of them. You take the charge. You got to remove the energetic charge from those patterns. Then you can embody the information, and then you become that. So awakening is phase one. I'm awakening. Well, great. Well, let's move on, because you're going to continuously be awakening until you leave this universe. And then it keeps going, right? Until another fractal. So awakening, great. Let's recognize that you're having an awakening and you're going through that, and it's beginning to speed up. So now what happens? Let's deal with the shit. Get the skip, as my friend says, and let's fill it up with everything that no longer serves you. And now you got to learn how to embody that. And how do you embody it? You got to go in. You got to go in and allow it to recalibrate you. Recalibration time. So then you can smile when the bird flies by, and then it just disappears into nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like, and we're all constantly evolving, all of us, all the time. That's why we're talking, and that's why we're listening, and that's why we're engaging. And so, when I was growing up, well, something's always been speaking to me, always, in all kinds of ways. And I come to feel that is my soul. I used to call it God. And then I would give it all my love, all my prayers, all my adoration, everything, all my time, invest so much time. And I would read the Bible for hours every day for years. And just the amount of praying and healing with people, and my whole, it encapsulated me. And then after many, many years, decades really, I said, I love you so much. And the love that I had was, I would just cry with love. And then one day it just said, stop loving me. Just stop. You got to love yourself like you love me. Because when you love yourself like you love me, you'll know who I am. And I was like, but I don't want to stop loving you. Get a hike, take a hike. That's not going to happen. Another year goes by. It's like, stop loving me. Stop adoring me, worshiping me. Like, stop. You're giving all your power away. I was so programmed to give my power away Okay. And that means many things to many different people. Then one day it was like, boom, I began to take the reins in, and I began to give myself that which I've always been giving something else. And when I did that, whoa, wow, then I just felt good. I felt so good. And I learned, and then I thought, it's me. It's me. It's me. It's fucking me. Like it's the best part of me going, Biba, keep bringing it in. Because then I build this generator of love. And when you build that generator of love, because in love is light and wisdom and information, all that stuff with the codes, blueprints, it's all in there. So when I'm with somebody, I just I have something that they are, and I'm mirroring that, I'm reflecting that to them. And then that's why the work works, because they go, oh, I feel very relaxed around you, or whatever. Yeah, it's because it's not around me, it's because you feel relaxed around yourself, because I can see that in you. I'm mirroring that. You know what I mean? And so that's how you do it. And it takes time, and there's nothing else to be doing in this world, only that, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not coming back around to start again and go, will I or won't I hop on the bandwagon? And people think waking up and they try very hard, or the awakening, or nothing's happening. No, because when you do begin to remember the beauty, all this stuff's got to come to the surface, all the pain, all of it, all the abuse that you did, or you gave, or you received, all of it, all the neglect, all of the stuff, just that stuff, even from past lives, which are just other versions of you right now. It all has to come up, and that is fucking uncomfortable, man.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. It's like, shit, get me out of here. It's like, no, you're riding a wave, and you're on the cusp of magnificence. So just keep going. Just don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself. Stop judging yourself, criticizing yourself. Just allow this thing to come to the surface and just be seen, and then it washes away. And then the relief, more awakening, more embodying, and then another thing comes to the surface, and it's wash, rinse, repeat. It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening to the point where you're just in like, bring it on. Yeah, because if I can feel this good, the heavier you feel, the better you're going to feel. That's been my experience.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
go, you, sorry.
sorry.
No, I was just going to say that's the thing, isn't it? Like, and you have to feel these feelings when they come up. That's the uncomfortableness. That's doing the work. It's when you're on your way to getting to the allowing stage, it's doing the work. It's allowing it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, am I articulating myself well? Yeah.
You got to allow it, and you've got to understand also, you don't have to. I always say you've got to. I don't know why I say you've got to. You don't have to do it.
You get to maybe.
You get to. So when you when you're channeling, when you're praying, when you're just, why don't you take a year off from giving something else an opportunity to work through you? Take a year off. Don't feel guilty about it. They won't mind, because if it's of love, it won't mind. If it's of love, it's of you. And really allow yourself to be the leading role in your life. Because right now in the spiritual community, people talk a lot about channeling, and there's so much channeling. It's like channel land, and it's great, but like, what does your soul have to say? So I know galactic from Zintars, Babs over there and fucking wherever they're from, these galactics, has a lot to say, but what do you have to say?
Yeah.
These beings, and these beautiful beings that are coming through, and some of them may have their agenda, and they may be manipulating a little bit to bring a frequency in, and some genuinely are stunning. They're only here to remind you of what you are. They're not like the main event. They want you to be the main event of your own life. They want you to come home to the truth of what you are. They're only here to remind you. So when you're listening to things and you can't listen anymore because you've heard it too many times, exactly. It's time to go in and channel your soul, channel your own essence. Well, what would I have to say? Everything. You have so much to offer. You know, people, we have been through so much and we've experienced so much. And so it's just about knowing that. And it is fun to say, well, I channel this, and I was going to channel myself. I did a course in it. And after 2 years of this, I was like, I have no interest in channeling any beings through me, because number one, how do I really know who they are? Secondly, any being outside of this dimension can tickle your nervous system to make you feel love. Okay, that's just part of it. They can have all these tools, and so they can stroke your neurological system so you feel, oh, this is love coming through, great, and that feels nice. But why don't you do that to yourself? Then channel. If you really want to channel, get to know yourself first. Don't be just an empty house. Like, embody what you are and then channel if you want to, but don't be an empty house, because an empty house can take up a lot of different masters, and that's a lot of energies and frequencies that you may not necessarily want or need, that can be quite heavy and dense, especially for your physical body. These are vibrations that we're bringing in. They're vibrations, and the physical body, they don't come into your physical body. We have an energy body. So when you blend with a medium, might speak to a past loved one, you blend with their energy body. Their energy will blend with my energy, the energy body, but it affects your physical body. So you can be very tired after energy work, right? You know this.
Yeah.
You can be just like crawling to bed like a dead cat, right? Like, help. Because something affected your body, your energy body. So embody what you are and then decide if you want to channel, but don't go around as an empty house, because you will be taken over.
Yeah.
You will be. And that's not why you're here. You're not here as a car. You're not a vehicle for something else. You're a vehicle for your soul, your sovereign soul. You need soul sovereignty. I'm going into teaching mode now. Let's get your soul. Let's get your soul in the driving seat. But it's true, like, your soul is paramount. Don't abandon yourself because you believe in yourself. Embody your soul, embody the wisdom of your own soul, and fill yourself up so there's no room for anything else, because you don't need anything else. You don't need it. You know, and if these beings want to, I talk to beings all the time, and now I don't bother, because I'm just like, I get it. I got it. I got the message. And I'm very grateful for all those that helped me, whether they're my soul family or my star family, but I get it. I got the memo. You know, Barbara Marcinak. Do you ever read Barbara Marcinak, channeling from the 1980s?
Oh, as the bringers, is that the bringers of the dawn? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, along the way I would have dabbled a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Well, she talks about, why are all these beings so interested in us? Genuine. Like, why? Because we contain the whole, our DNA contains the whole universe and the experiences of it. So we are very special beings, really. We really are. And I want people to just love who they are, and don't love something more than you love yourself. Don't do that. Love yourself at least equally, right?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. And everything that you're saying, like the feeling that I'm getting weaved through this as well is the word of trust. Like, it's about trusting yourself and your own knowing. And because when we're giving our power away, and putting it out there, we're not trusting our own messages, our own knowing, our own who we are we? And I feel like that's huge. I don't know. It feels huge right now, because if you give something away, you're not trusting in what you know. And so the more that you can give yourself love, the more that you know who you are and trust who you are, you trust what is going to happen and unfold. You just trust that it's going to all work out how it needs to. Would you agree with that?
Listen, if I do a session with someone and we were together 5 hours, right? And they've gone on a soul exploration and they've gotten lots of information and all of that thing. And then they'll come out and they'll go, what do you think? They'll say, well, da 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 da. And then what do you think? And I'll say, see, you have a habit of asking for advice outside of yourself. So you've just gone into your soul and gotten a lot of information, and now you're asking me, do you see the problem? Do you see the problem? Do you see that? What is it that I know that you don't know? Nothing. I have the ability to tap in very quickly, like fine tune. It's like the radio. I know the radio. I know how to get the signals. I know how to tune into love because I am that. I know how to tune into joy because I am that. Some days are harder than others. In the Mercury retrograde, I'm still example, right? You get your periods, or the moon is out, or your partner's annoying you, or something's just, or the bill's too big, or whatever. But you've got to know how to tune in. So I saw a bunch of frequencies one time in a meditation. I went into the unified field and I saw the waves, and every wave was a different joy, love, anything. All those things were there. And I realized that I'm the space in between the waves of that. And so I am all of it. So if I want to experience abundance, I just have to catch the wave of that. And then I become the abundance, or the wave of love, or the wave of wisdom, whatever's needed for me or somebody else. So when you learn to catch that wave or become that, you don't need somebody else's opinion. Because when you're a child and you need to go to the bathroom, or you hit your brother, or then you go to school and you need to go to the toilet, and then you get a job and you need to take a holiday, you're trained to ask for permission. Trained, really trained. And it's in the bloodlines as well. Like, it's going back from, the slave, it's going back and back and back. And when you're trained like that, it's just a remembering that you're trained. And so you don't really think that your voice matters, or you shouldn't really speak up. Well, I'm of the opinion that actually I do know. And it's not like I know everything, because I absolutely don't remember everything. But I do know that what to do in every given moment, because if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. So what? Like, so what if I get it wrong, or I say the wrong thing? And so you got to trust yourself. That is, you've picked up on the most important thing here, is trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut feelings, trusting your dreams, trusting your understandings. My daughter's 18, and ever since she was very young, I said to her, you're only here to enjoy your life. The only thing you need to do is to experience joy in this life. That's your mission. And from your mother's point of view, right? So when she was growing up and in school, she was very dyslexic, so she couldn't go to school because she couldn't handle the energy of those buildings. I said to her, don't worry about that. You're not here for that. You're here to experience joy. And everything you think is correct. You're always right. Always. And she's like, am I? I'm like, you're always right. You're never wrong. And I've trained her to trust her instincts, trust her intuitions. And she's like very confident, but she's also very gentle. She's in tune with nature. She's in tune with animals. She's in tune with people, maybe too much so, right? But she has the ability to trust herself. Now, she still asks me a lot, but I have to now start going, well, what do you think? What do you think? So instead of me giving advice, because we're great at giving advice, because it's easy to know the answer for someone else, we have to learn to go, what do you think? What do you think? You tell me, what do you think? So you're teaching somebody through them teaching themselves. And people just need a little bit of coaxing with that, because they have a lot of PTSD from not being heard, not being seen, not feeling good enough, all that stuff. So what do you think? Well, you're right. Well, I think that when my friend called me, I just got a feeling that and I was like, well, then don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I feel that my partner is drifting, but I don't know, maybe it's me. Don't doubt that. Like, don't doubt what your soul is telling you. Like, trust it. Yeah, and then you have to be responsible, right? And then you have to think, well, actually, not everything maybe is great. Maybe I need to do a bit of investigation. And I've gotten to a point, I just don't care. Like, I care a lot, but I don't care what people think of me. Like, I really don't.
Yeah.
because my whole life I thought no one liked me. People don't like me. They just don't like me. You know, people don't like me. I did an acting course for 2 years, and one day I went in and no one looked at me and said hello. So I left. I thought they don't like me.
Mm.
I'd go into parties and I'd leave because the way people, but what I didn't understand is I was able to read their feelings and they didn't like themselves.
Yeah.
So now I go into a place, and if someone doesn't like me, well, it's fine. That's okay.
Mm.
It really doesn't matter because I'm very happy with myself. I'm acceptable to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is such a beautiful place to be. That is such a beautiful place to be, like 1,000,000%. And I mean, it's not easy, but it's awesome. It's awesome, isn't it?
And whether it's your hair or as a woman, especially she gets older, and I look at myself and I think some days I just go, oh my God, like what the fuck's going on? I used to be like, and I thought, stop, stop, stop,
Mm.
go back, find the frequency, find the joy, Abraham Hicks, follow the joy, boom, there it is. The relief of it, like the little tricks in this reality to distract you from what you are. And I'd love to talk to you more. I know you can't talk too much because you've got to.
I'm doing pretty well, I reckon. I've only coughed a few times. Are you impressed? I'm impressed.
Actually, totally impressed. Yeah, you've done
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, so have you. Just I'm loving everything that's just flowing out of your mouth and your soul and your essence. It's just bloody brilliant. Just brilliant, Biba. I'm so glad we connected.
Yeah, it's great to connect, and um, everything we do comes from a loving place, right? You just want people to get it,
Mm.
right? Everything you do is because you want people to feel better about themselves,
Mm.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. That's if you're to peel it back.
Mm.
Yeah, people kind of get a little bit closer to who they are, and they can start loving themselves a little bit more, liking themselves a little bit more. That's really what we're doing. And that shows up in a million different ways, an infinite amount of ways
Yeah.
that we're here. And there's a lot of people that don't like who they are.
Mm.
That's you got to work through that. You got to work through not liking who you are. And if you don't like who you are, change it because it won't change itself.
Yeah. And you're not a tree. You can move. You can change. You can do whatever you want to do. And you just start where you are right now, don't you? You just start there. Just go, all right, I'm doing it. Make that decision. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I've loved talking to you. And I can't remember what time we started because of all the stuff before we hit record. Well, it was already recording, but you know what I mean? Before we actually started, I did the intro. So does that feel like it's been like the podcast time to you as well? Does it feel
Yeah,
like it? Yeah.
yeah.
Like I would love for you. I mean, this has just gone too quick though. And I just love listening to you. Actually, I listened to something that you posted on your YouTube channel. It would have been the other day. Well, I saw it the other day. It could have been longer ago than that. Who knows? It was just a 5-minute thing. And it was just beautiful. And throughout you talking, you brought that in. And I can't remember what it was now, but I just really appreciate that because when you're in your flow and you're just allowing your truth and your just essence just to come through and speak, and that's what I love about what you're doing. And it's just awesome to listen to, and just to, I guess in a way you're energetically giving people permission just to be themselves, really. And I think that's a massive, beautiful gift. So I want to honor you for that, Biba, because it is bloody incredible. Um, and I also want to ask you to let people know where they can connect with your fabulous self after this podcast ends. How can they find you?
Yeah. So, how can you find me? That's tricky. You're
Telepathically,
up
just
the mountain.
yeah. Oh,
Well, it
I'm doing great.
depends. So I don't know how people can find me. Like I have a website, the bibafrequency.com, and I have like quantum healing.health,
Mm-hmm.
quantum healing, multidimensional hypnotherapy. I'm working on something new at the moment. I'm developing something new with a friend of mine, and it's a multidimensional hypnotherapy, which means that your it's all about all the regressions, whether it's for trauma or whether it's for your future, whether it's for now. We are multifaceted beings. And so when we are aware of the word multidimensional, you can access any part of yourself and bring it into this moment now. And that changes up everything. You can do this by yourself. You don't need a hypnotherapist. You just need to learn how to meditate. But if you're just too lazy to meditate, and your mind is just too noisy, which it's going to be forever.
Yeah.
Trust that your soul knows. And so, go and do your ayahuascas or your hypnosis or your Joe Dispenzas, but do something, like fucking change your behavior. Stop watching porn. Stop it. Stop watching pornography and learn to connect to your heart. The pornography is it's like a sledgehammer. That takes you out of your heart, and it's rampant all over the globe. Pornography, it's everywhere. And just change your behavior, isn't it?
Yeah.
And stop watching pornography. And when you stop watching pornography, look at the agitation that's going to come out of your system. Let the agitation come out. Start seeing men and women in a different way. We're beautiful souls, and we need to love each other and just be kind, like what Max Lowell said, to just be kind. Small acts of kindness change people's lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's just that smiling on the street, saying good day to someone, helping someone with their shopping, high-fiving them, or just giving a wink and a nod, or just laughing because you just tripped over yourself. Just bring that joy and that fun, So yeah, I love that. I love that. Biba, I could listen to you all day, and I probably will. And okay, we're still recording. Phew, just had a heart attack then. Did you just have one of those things pop up on your screen? It went all dodge? No? Okay, it's just my end. Excellent. All right. Well, so what I'll do, is there anything else on your heart that you would love to share before we wrap up?
Really? No. There's nothing else on my heart. Just be kind to yourself and be kind to your animals and be kind to each other and to the earth. This world, the only thing that we're all looking for is kindness. That's it. When you like yourself and begin to love yourself, you're more kind. And when you're kind, you give people permission to be kind. You're very intuitive. Like, you've picked up on two things that I've spoken about. Number one is authenticity and trust. Man, if you can nail that down, you have had the most successful incarnation of your whole existence in this universe. Yeah, authenticity and trust.
Yeah, it's big, so big.
Yeah.
Biba.
Send you love.
Hey, sorry, I interrupted. Go.
I send you love.
I send you love too. Yeah, that is what you said, isn't it? I send you love. Excellent. Imagine. Oh my gosh. I just love you. You're amazing. I am just going, this is hilarious. My voice. I love that I'm sounding like a man with you today. And I just have absolutely loved this podcast and laughing with you before we started as well. It's just been so just heart fulfilling. What's the word? Heart expanding and soul expanding. And I've just loved it. And I know that everyone who tunes in will feel the same. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for coming onto the show. And while I'm thanking you as well, beautiful soul, to thank the beautiful soul at home, you at home. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being here and part of this epic conversation. I hope you loved it as much as I have, and I hope and know, well, I feel that Biba has loved it too. So we will be in the comments. If you want to leave a comment, please do. I can't do that. Actually, maybe I can. For those listening at home, we're trying to do the is that the Star Trek thing? Is it? What's the You're doing it really well.
I know, yeah. It's
I can do it with that one. My hand looks funny. Like
see you later, alligator.
See you later, alligator.
I look like an Oompa Loompa. I'm not this red, by the way.
No, you're not red at this end. It's so funny you said Oompa Loompa. I said that to someone literally the other day. Oompa Loompa.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe we were Oompa Loompas in a past life together. We totally were. That's where it was. That is where we were, exactly what we were doing. My God, that makes so much sense. So
Get
to
the
you at to you at home, these two Oompa Loompas here, we are so grateful that you were here for this conversation. Just loved it. I will put all of Biba's links in the description so you can click through to anywhere and everywhere. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that fun stuff as usual. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you, Biba, for being here and just for being the awesome soul that you are. I so appreciate you.
Yeah, I so appreciate you too. And thank you for creating a space for people to just be. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Biba.